right, what's up, you guys? We're back with another NFL picks video. This is Beat the Odds NFL edition on Odds Checker. What do you guys have for us this week, and how was our week last week, guys?
Our week was fantastic. Going 4-0 last week. We broke the 500 slide, I broke the 500 slide. I thought Justin did well as well. So pretty happy. So automatically hit the pick of the week. But yeah, 4-0. We're hitting the home stretch and hopefully get hot. Fourth quarter team. That's what we're gonna say.
Yeah, I did 4-0 too. The Ravens one was the big one where I had completely written that off. And then I learned probably like a half hour after the game went final. I was like, wait, the Ravens did cover by half point? And I was like, you know what? They did. And I earned that. I know
Lamar getting hurt is just like power the brain off.
Yep.
I was like, oh yeah.
That happened, and they were down too. They came back into that to get the backdoor cover. I just completely tuned that out and then looked back later and was like, hey, made some money on that. All right.
Gotta love it.
All right, well, great start. Strong start to the week. Full disclosure, I'm not an Eagles fan. I am not an Eagles fan. This is my boyfriend's room. But we're going into this week with some more great picks, so let's get started.
Speaking of the Eagles, I'm actually going on the other side of that game. I'm going the Washington +4 at the Eagles. And Eagles coming off a bye, I know this, and they've kind of have figured out a formula that kind of sort of worked for them on offense, but even with Jalen Hurts banged up, and they had Gardner Minshew in there, so I don't know what's going on with that ordeal. But this Washington team, I think this is more of a coin flip type of game, so I really am just taking the points in a divisional battle. Washington's been feisty lately, even yesterday against the Cowboys, they somehow clawed back into this game. Looking up, it said Taylor Heineke is going to play next week, even if he's banged up, so that really helps. What's nice is Washington doesn't have to go against the Cowboys' defensive line. That's going to really, really help not doing that. I think this game is going to be a fist fight, rock fight, so I'm just taking the points more than anything. Eagles could still win this, but I think the Washington will cover, and it'll be a nice close game.
Well, I guess we aren't going to be on the same side for every game this week. I'm taking the Eagles. So Washington at Philadelphia, I'm taking the Eagles -4. My whole thought here, Philadelphia is coming off of a bye week. They have extended rest. Washington, that game yesterday was weird. How much of that Dallas game did you see? Because Dak didn't look
a good chunk.
Dak didn't look right. That was an odd game, I thought.
His calf's bugging him.
My whole thought is, he's not moving around. It's very odd. My whole thought is maybe that game is a whole lot less close if Dak can play healthy. And if that's the case, maybe Philadelphia is going to get the edge here. This is really going to decide a lot of playoff runs. The way the playoffs are working right now, San Francisco has the inside lane, to be the 6th seed, and then that 7th seed is going to come down to Washington, Philadelphia, Minnesota, and New Orleans. Yeah. And Philadelphia and Washington are going to play twice in the next 3 weeks. So it's going to be an interesting one.
It really is. It's good. It's a don't screw up bowl. That's what all those teams are. It's just please.
Philadelphia probably has the inside lane right now too.
Yeah.
Because Philadelphia is in a situation where, because Minnesota lost that game to the Lions, they have the tiebreaker and they have similar records. So unless New Orleans can get their crap together, and I don't think Washington's going to be the team that ends up pulling it out of those 4, Philadelphia has the tiebreaker right now over Minnesota. So this is a team that needs it. They're coming off of a bye. I think they probably have a better quarterback situation, no matter which quarterback starts for the Eagles. And I just think Washington's coming off of a close game that probably shouldn't have been so close.
I watched way too much of that Saints-Jets game. So it was like, I know. Well, we'll talk about Zach Wilson on another day, but watching way too much of that Saints team, that was a ugly football game. It was just Taysom Hill, my quarterback's not much better. It's just like they're a better team though. I know. So that's whoever that's gonna get that 7th spot for the playoffs is just like good luck. Like after that, because it might be an ugly first round. So NFC East, I guess I just want to get both games because I'm actually going to go with the Cowboys -10.5 at the Giants. Just as more betting against the Giants and betting because they are a rough team right now. They are listless against the Chargers team. And honestly, even with Dak being banged up, the Cowboys find they're going to be fine on offense just because they have so many weapons. And Zach Martin got banged up, but he came back. The offensive line, because they had so many injuries throughout the year, has kind of like their gelling has been really weird. And so I think I really want to watch that game. But having said that, the defense is phenomenal right now. Like they are. It's crazy what they're doing up front, and a weakness of this Giants team is their offensive line. And even though I don't even know what Daniel Jones could do back there, but I just think this Cowboys team is really they're finding ways to win in a way that it's like I think they got to put a complete game together, and then I'm betting that's going to be this week where they just take it to the Giants.
The Giants were weird yesterday because Mike Glennon surprisingly didn't have the worst game.
Yeah,
and the rest of the team just failed him. And it's like, you guys can't even put together a win around a Mike Glennon rally. Like
that's what I was going to say. It was like Daniel Jones can run around, but it's like Mike Glennon's going to have to move around from that defensive line. So it's like, ooh.
My next pick, these are two teams that have no chance to make the playoffs. Houston Texans at Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm taking the Jaguars -3. I am. The Texans are terrible. They're terrible. The 80 chance that I have in like a 1-score game to bet against the Texans or the Jets, I'm taking it every time, and I'm not going to feel bad about it.
Jaguars might be on the new head coach.
No, again, well, maybe. But look, Davis Mills might keep Urban's job for another week, and that's the entire analysis of the game. He's terrible. He's not an NFL quarterback. I don't understand why they spent a 3rd-round pick on this guy that no one was hyping up during the whole draft process. It was like the week of the draft, people were like, Davis Mills might start NFL games. People were like, what the hell are you talking about?
Remember, there's rumors, he might sneak into the 1st round. I was like, whoa. I don't throw a grade on him.
As someone who's watched entirely too much Pac-12 football, no one had ever had that conversation while he was playing. So I just think this Texans team, they're in like a weird spot. Didn't they do that whole who is it? Justin Reed. They like benched Justin Reed, and they're like, you're gonna be a healthy scratch now. This was a safety who was doing like kickoffs for him. Remember at one point this season, like
they traded Cunningham or cut him.
Yes,
basically.
They waived him.
Where they're better defenders. Like, just
so weird, man.
Strange.
Like this team doesn't make any sense. I don't know what.
They're lucky that the Jaguars exist and the Jets exist and Carolina exists, because it's like everyone forgets. It's like, oh yeah, Houston's a crap show. I don't know if I could swear on this one, but they're not great. They're not great either.
Yeah, the headline momentum ever since the Gruden story has just been chaotic for the bottom tier NFL teams, where no one's gotten fired yet. Still, no one's technically. I did the books still cash out on the Gruden resignation, but no one's gotten fired yet. The Texans are terrible. I don't know what the minister of culture, Jack Easterby, is doing there. It doesn't seem like it's working. I'm taking the Jags just off of the strength of Trevor Lawrence is just that much better than Davis Mills.
Bet in the quarterback battle. I love it. If it's not the head coach battle, it might be a wash. Which is saying something. All right, so I'm gonna keep up with another big favorite here. I'm gonna go Bills -11.5 hosting the Panthers. We're talking about betting against teams. I'm betting against this Panthers team that is insisting on playing PJ Walker for a couple series, just for vibes. Just cause it's just this Panthers team again, like we just mentioned with the Texans. They're lucky that the Jaguars exist right now, because this team is weird. They do not know what they want to be. They switch what their plan is at quarterback mid-game daily. Like they are just. I think just firing the offensive coordinator Joe Brady, who I actually thought was doing an okay job. Like I'm not saying he should have been a head coach or anything, but not enough to like lose his job mid-season. Because he didn't want to run the ball with that terrible offensive line that they went into the season with. If you're going into the season with Cam Irving as your left tackle, I don't think you have a good personnel plan. So I think this Bills team, though, even if Josh Allen has I think he said they have turf toe, that was like he had a great year last year, but that was like a star-making performance from Josh Allen yesterday. Like he really was. I mean, he put the team on his back, And I think this defense is going to punish this offense because they can rotate guys up front. They play they play the same two coverages throughout the whole game, basically, but they play them really sound. It's a smart team that can punish a Panthers team. And I think Matt Rule said, "Oh, I don't know who I'm starting at quarterback." So it's like, okay, please start PJ Walker. And I can see this. I can see this line just even climbing up even more. I'm going to take it while I can get it. I think Bills minus 11.5.
This game is so a couple of things here. One, it came out already that they're like, yeah. So what's his name? Brady, the offensive coordinator that they canned, like he's already getting interest for NFL teams, which is like probably didn't make the right decision by canning that dude. And then the other thing, do you know how many consecutive games Cam has lost as a Carolina Panther? No.
Oh no.
It's 11.
Oh,
11 straight.
God.
11 straight. It's not working.
Wow.
Whatever this is, it's not working.
First version and second version.
Yeah, no, this was bad with a break in between even.
Yeah.
The next game for me, Las Vegas Raiders +6 at the Cleveland Browns.
You can't quit them. You can't quit them.
I can't do it. And they did the midfield stomping. I was so happy that I didn't bet them this last week. But I still believe, like the very slightest, I still believe. I still don't know if Baker's 100%. The fact that a backup quarterback who was an undrafted free agent last year was able to come back and creep and backdoor cover against this Browns team probably isn't talked about enough this week. I think people are just like, yeah, Browns win. And I'm like, what? The backup who right now has the Green Bay Packers as 7-point favorites on the road, was able to creep back up on this Browns team. So I don't think any lead is safe with them right now. The Raiders are still a half decent, well-rounded team. The thing is they just play that cover 3 and like Mahomes is going to eat that all day. And it doesn't make sense. Gus Bradley, please, like when you're going against Mahomes, stop treating the NFL like it's like 2013.
Yeah. 2014. Yeah. Everyone's running a quick game. Yeah. Let's get out of that.
It's brutal. And you could see it from 10 miles away where you're like, this is the one team that still plays this style of football. Mahomes is absolutely going to eat you up. And they got it twice. They got punched in the chin twice this year. And they just are adamant and they don't want to change.
I compared it to, when a guy's dunking on somebody else, but they put their chest in the guy, and so they rise even higher. Like Gus Bradley's that chest, and Mahomes and the Chiefs are the dunkers. Like it was like, oh, they're going to get that win anyways, but it was like, oh, let's rise a little higher because we're playing against that Gus Bradley defense. I agree completely. I almost went the same way with you because this Browns team is just not impressive right now. Like they have to play heavy personnel just because they have no receivers, and it's like no team speed. It's just like you like the offensive line. And, the tight ends are fine, but it's like they can't just play action you all the game. And actually, that's what that cover 3 defense actually can be decent against is they're going to load the box against it and be able to play, play that play action stuff. So I like that angle. I did not bet it, but I like it.
All right. Are we good for picks of the week?
I think so.
It's that time. Okay. This week I'm liking Chargers, Chiefs. Give me Chargers +3.5. The Chiefs just have not been their dominant selves this year. And if they want to beat their division rivals, they will need to play a mistake-free game. But I'm liking Chargers +3.5.
Divisional tilt, get that half point. That's the Thursday night game, right? That'll be a fun one. Finally, some good Thursday night games are happening. Well, last week's was chaotic, and everyone has an opinion on Chase Claypool and his.
That Thursday night game. Let's be clear. That Thursday night game was good for like the last 10 minutes. The first.
Yes. Oh, the first half.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh my God. Yeah. Big Ben is lucky that some of that narrative switched on him because he was god awful. All right. So my pick of the week is I am picking Justis' team. I'm going to go with the Packers -6.5 at the Ravens, and that is just I think. It's people not realizing how banged up this Ravens team is, and they are a walking corpse at this point in time. They try to run man cover. They got away with it against the Browns, running man coverage like Wink Martindale's like, Marlon Humphrey's out, doesn't matter. I'm still doing my stuff, and it's like, yeah, good luck against the Packers trying to do that, and Aaron Rodgers. So I think this Packers team, even though they got another O-line banged up, O-lineman banged up, it's like they're getting guys back. they're a really good football team. It was a weird game. I know their special teams suck, but it's just fire Ron Zook, even though he's not there anymore. But I think this Packers team is a real good team. I think this Ravens team is just going to try and get through the season. I know they're even a playoff team right now, but we'll see. Lamar didn't have a high ankle. He had a low ankle sprain, but still, that's not great. That's your guy. That's your entire franchise on offense. So I'm going to still go Packers -6.5.
Yeah, my whole thing with that, I would wait to see what the reports are on Lamar, because I mean, obviously that's a big, deal between Huntley and Lamar Jackson. Yeah, that's special teams, man. Oh my God, they had a muffed onside kick, a muffed punt. They gave up like 216 return yards in the first half alone. They had a 30-yard punt. I don't understand. I don't understand this team. And then after the game, LaFleur's like, "Oh, absolutely not. Why would we fire the special teams coordinator?" It's like,
because he might hold you
bed
back from a Super Bowl run.
Yes, yeah. Because Amari might be the difference between a second Aaron Rodgers ring and an empty finger. My pick of the week is the opposite of Caitlin's. So I'm taking Kansas City Chiefs -3.5 at the Chargers. I just don't think that this Chargers team is really as good as we think it is. I know they're coming off of a solid win. But, like I mentioned, Mike Glennon actually played a half-decent game. Everyone's going to retweet that Justin Herbert throw this week, third down Justin throw. It was a nice throw, but let's remind ourselves.
He's an Oregon Duck. That's your boy.
That's fine. That's fine. He only went to one Rose Bowl, so the standard is higher. The standard is higher. The Chargers, I just don't think that they're as good. Like, we forget, like, they can't stop anyone defensively. Things like that when we're just retweeting Justin Herbert. The thing with the Chiefs, I think their defense has kind of gotten a step up. As soon as Clark came back healthy and they traded for Melvin Ingram and they were able to kick Chris Jones inside, I feel like that defense fundamentally changed. Plus, we're getting Mahomes, back in the game hot. How different are these defensive stretches for Mahomes going to be? Going against the Raiders and Gus Bradley, just playing single high cover 3 the entire game, versus the Chargers where Brandon Staley plays everything. Yeah. It's just going to be a funny stretch to see Mahomes play in like 5 days, but I'm still taking the Chiefs here.
All right. Well, on that note then, coming off of a strong week for us guys, let's see how we do this weekend. That's all for this week. This was Beat the Odds NFL edition on Odds Checker. We will catch you guys next week.